Alright, well, it's June. Time for our next episode of Bucks and Trucks. Boating season's here. Colin, what are we talking about?
Well, it's the season where college kids have graduated and they're starting their next journey of life, and they're starting to work actually and starting their jobs. And so when they're sitting in HRs and they're talking about all these benefit packages, they hear about this thing called a 401k. So today let's talk about what a 401k is and how it can set people up for success in their future financially, and the impact it makes on people.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about 401ks then. Let's talk about some of the myths. I mean, there's kind of this, mystic cloud that surrounds 401ks for a lot of people. Like, what is it? Is my employer just getting a big old fat check out of it? Are they taking my money? Is the government gonna take it? All sorts of stuff. And I think it's really important we talk about this, because more and more people have advantage of these, because a lot of employers offer them, but they're not really taking advantage of as well as they could be. So let's start with myth number one. Your employer's getting a bunch of benefit out of it. The truth of the matter is that no, right? Wrong. In fact, the Department of Labor looks at these, and it is always looked at from, is this benefiting the employee, not the employer? In fact, if it's over benefiting an employer or, your big C-suite executives, they actually force it to overcorrect and balance back the other way. Because again, the idea here is this is supposed to help you save for your retirement, your future needs. They want this to be for the benefit of the employee. So right off the bat, it always costs your employer money. They're doing it for one reason and one reason only. They want you to be a long-term employee, right? That's why you have all these things like vesting and time periods. It's stay around for a long time. It's a lot harder to hire and find help. We want you around.
And that's an important thing to know, whether you're in between jobs or you're exploring your first job and there's multiple candidates for you to start your working career at. That's one question that you should ask. Do you guys offer a 401k or some sort of retirement plan? What is it? What incentives do you offer, such as employer contributions and matches? So those are definitely things you need to consider when looking at 401ks and your future employers.
Absolutely. What are the contribution limits here for 2023?
So contribution limits for 2023 is for people under 50, you can contribute up to $22,500 per year. If you're over 50, you get a $7,500 catch-up contribution, which means your annual contribution max limit is $30,000 before any sort of employer matches. So it's a great advantage, because if you make pre-tax contributions, then you can deduct that. But then you also have Roth options these days, which you don't get the tax deduction up front, but you will get tax-free growth in both accounts. And in pre-tax, then you'll have to pay Uncle Sam when you take that income out in the future. Or if you do the Roth option, you don't have to pay Uncle Sam. Plain and simple.
You pay the taxes up front. That's what I like to say. So really unique way for savings. Is it effective? Let's talk about this myth. Is it even really effective? Yes. Here's how effective it is. In fact, Chris Hogan wrote a book called Everyday Millionaires, and in it he interviewed over 10,000 different millionaires. So if you took their positive number minus any debt they have, did they come out to $1 million? Yes. Interview them, right? 79% of them made their millions in a 401k.
I believe it.
In fact, only like 16% of them were C-suite executives. Everyone else, 79%, 401k. And so even those C-suite guys were making it in their 401k. And so it is the number one way to save for retirement.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people, look, if you get the option to follow brand new advice or follow proven track record advice, take the proven track record advice first. Not that you can't go try some new advice, but definitely do the proven track record one. Well, 401ks, they've got the proven track record. Inheritance, no. People winning the lottery, that's not a retirement plan. That wasn't even calculable. 79% 401ks, employer-sponsored plans.
So let's talk about this other thing called an employer match contribution. Raise your hand if you like free money. I would hope so. Well, your employers oftentimes do this thing called a match, which we're going to break this down for you so you can understand it. So let's say your employer matches 100% on the first 3%, but then they also match 50% on the next 2%. So a total of 5% is being matched, a certain limit. So on that first 3%, they're going to match 100%. So if you make $50,000 and you save 3%, they're going to match 3%, which totals to $1,500. Well guys, that wraps up this month's episode of Bucks and Trucks. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, but as always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube.
Hey guys, don't let the myth of 401ks scare you or keep you from investing so you can achieve your life's ambitions. Maybe that's a boat. But whatever it is, we want to help you achieve it. So please reach out to either Colin or I. And remember, as always,
Keep on trucking.